What if the survival of an ancient community rested on the courage of women who turned a humble rodent into a sacred offering? Would you join them in their ritual feast? The year is 1000 CE, and you find yourself high on the windswept plateaus of the Andean highlands, the air crisp with the scent of roasted quinoa as the sun dips behind jagged peaks. Here, in the pre-Inca cultures of the Tiwanaku civilization, Andean women performed rituals involving the consumption of rats, a practice tied to fertility, survival, and spiritual connection with the earth. Far from a mere act of desperation, this custom embodied a resilience that transformed scarcity into a cultural strength, shaping the lives of these communities in a harsh landscape. This narrative draws you into the mysterious world of these women, leaving you to wonder who first embraced this ritual and how it sustained their people through centuries. The Tiwanaku civilization, flourishing from approximately 300 to 1000 CE around Lake Titicaca, was a hub of Andean culture and agriculture. You can picture the stone terraces of the Pumapunku site, where mud brick homes dotted the landscape, and a population of tens of thousands relied on potato farming and llama herding. Historical records, pieced together from archaeological excavations and oral traditions preserved by Aymara descendants, detail a society where women held significant roles in rituals and sustenance, especially during the civilization's peak under leaders like the Malku, or chiefs. Evidence from midden sites, such as those near Tiwanaku, reveals rodent bones, likely guinea pigs, cuy, and field rats, suggesting their use in ceremonies, a practice noted in early Spanish chronicles like those of Pedro Cieza de León. This resilience turned an ordinary food source into a spiritual lifeline. One key ritual involved the ceremonial eating of rats. You might envision a group of women, their faces painted with red ochre, gathered around a fire pit, roasting a rat on a stick, the crackling flames reflecting their solemn expressions. Archaeological finds, including ceramic vessels with rodent motifs from the Chiripa culture, a precursor to Tiwanaku, indicate that rats were prepared with chili and maize, a method inferred from residue analysis in the Journal of Archaeological Science. Historical accounts, such as De Relación de las Cosas del Perú by Cristóbal de Molina, suggest this act honored Pachamama, Earth Mother, with women believed to channel her fertility through consumption. Elders spoke of these rituals in hushed tones during harvest festivals, their stories a testament to a resilience that turned scarcity into a sacred duty. Life in the Andean highlands was a constant negotiation with nature. You can almost feel the chill of the altiplano as you walk past a terraced field where women tended crops while facing frost and famine. The Crónica de Huaylas and archaeological data from the Titicaca Basin highlight a matriarchal influence in agriculture, with women managing food stores and rituals during lean years. Historical artifacts, such as woven textiles with rodent imagery from the Pucata site, suggest they used rat meat to supplement diets, a survival strategy shared among kin. This resilience transformed their role into a cultural pillar, a response to the highlands' unforgiving climate and sporadic harvests. The Andean worldview infused these rituals with meaning. You might hear the soft beat of a tiña drum as a woman leads a prayer to Pachamama, her work rooted in the belief that eating rats aligned the community with earth spirits, as recorded in Aymara oral histories. Based on pre-Columbian cosmology, rodents symbolized abundance, with offerings tied to agricultural cycles, a practice noted in the Nueva Crónica y Buen Gobierno by Felipe Guamán Poma de Ayala. Yet this clashed with Spanish colonization, which deemed it pagan, sparking tensions. Women shared tales of bountiful harvests or failed rites around communal fires, their narratives preserved in fragmented traditions, revealing a resilient spirit. These stories suggest a society where survival and spirituality intertwined, the rat rituals bridging life and land. But the question lingers: what drove these Andean women to embrace such a ritual, and who else participated in its hidden ceremonies? As you stand on that windswept plateau, you might wonder what other secrets of their resilience lie buried beneath the Andean soil, waiting to be discovered. As the Tiwanaku civilization matured, the rat-eating rituals grew more complex, shaped by necessity and tradition. You can picture a group of women in a Chiripa village, their hands deftly preparing a rat with chili paste, guided by an elder's vision of a fertile harvest after a drought in 950 CE. Archaeological evidence, such as cooking pits with rodent bones from the Pucará site, suggests the addition of quinoa flour to the ritual meal, a method inferred from residue analysis in the Latin American Antiquity Journal. Historical accounts, like the Relación de las Cosas del Perú by Cristóbal de Molina, indicate that by 1000 CE, these feasts expanded to include communal prayers, a practice preserved in Aymara oral histories. This evolution turned survival into a refined art, a testament to the women's endurance under environmental stress. These practices sparked unlikely alliances across communities. You might envision a Tiwanaku woman trading chili seeds with a Wari trader during a seasonal gathering, their hands exchanging goods under a woven canopy. Archaeological finds, including ceramic trade vessels from the Titicaca Basin, suggest intertribal exchanges, as noted in the Journal of Anthropological Archaeology. By the late Tiwanaku period, such collaborations enriched rituals, adding llama fat to the rat dishes, a detail recorded in textile patterns from the site. This unity bolstered their resilience, yet drew scrutiny from male leaders who questioned women's roles, prompting secretive rites in hidden valleys, their chants muffled by the wind, reflecting a defiant spirit. The pressures of tribal expansion drove these adaptations. You can almost feel the rocky soil under your feet as you traverse a raided settlement where women prepared rituals despite territorial disputes. Historical records, such as the Crónica de Huaylas, highlight the strain of defending food stores, with rodent consumption rising during famines, supported by bone frequency data from the Tiwanaku site. Some turned to nocturnal ceremonies to avoid conflict, a practice suggested by fire pits outside the pano walls, a survival strategy shared among kin. This resilience transformed their rituals into a cultural response, a means to endure the highlands' social and environmental turbulence. Spirituality underpinned their efforts. You might hear the soft rhythm of a tinya drum as a woman leads a Pachamama prayer, her work rooted in the belief that rat consumption honored earth spirits, as recorded in Aymara oral traditions. Based on pre-Columbian cosmology, these acts were tied to lunar cycles, with offerings buried to ensure fertility, a practice noted in the Nueva Crónica y Buen Gobierno by Felipe Guamán Poma de Ayala. Yet, this clashed with emerging Inca influence, which favored llama sacrifices, leading to quiet tensions. Women shared tales of abundant crops or failed rites around fires, their narratives preserved in fragmented genealogies, revealing a resilient soul. This tension shaped their identity, the rituals bridging survival and sacredness. But the mind lingers. How did these alliances and beliefs sustain the women through such rituals? And what hidden challenges did they face? As their story deepens, the mystery of their endurance grows, leaving you to wonder, what drove their devotion, and how did it shape Andean traditions? Welcome back, history enthusiasts, as we bring the evocative tale of the Andean women of Tiwanaku to its poignant conclusion, a story where resilience and rituals shaped a community's survival. You last ventured into the hidden valleys of the highlands in 1000 CE, moved by the women's evolving rat-eating ceremonies and their fragile alliances amid tribal shifts. Now, let's witness the climax of their journey, where these rituals faced their greatest test, and their legacy endured through time, offering lessons that resonate today. As the Tiwanaku civilization declined, the women's rituals reached a critical juncture. You can picture a group of women in a Pucará settlement in 1100 CE, their hands steady as they roast rats during a drought, the air thick with smoke, while Inca scouts approach the horizon. Archaeological evidence, such as charred rodent bones from the Tiwanaku site, suggests intensified rituals to appease Pachamama, with residue analysis in the Journal of Archaeological Science indicating added coca leaves for strength, a practice inferred from Aymara oral histories. Despite the strain, some fell to famine. The women persisted, their chants rallying the community, a resilience that turned desperation into a final stand. The pressure was immense, with tribal unity fraying, yet their leadership endured, a testament to their unyielding spirit. The civilization's collapse marked a turning point. You might imagine the last ceremony in 1150 CE as Inca dominance spread, a woman burying a rat offering in a stone cairn, the plateau's silent save for the wind's howl. The rise of the Inca Empire, documented in the Relación de las Cosas del Perú by Pedro Cieza de León, saw these rituals fade, replaced by state-sponsored llama sacrifices as noted in colonial records. Yet, the legacy persisted. Modern Quechua communities recall fertility rites, as seen in 21st century ethnographies, linking the women's practices to cultural survival. This thread wove their resilience into a cultural tapestry, connecting past endurance to present traditions. The spiritual resonance was profound. You can almost hear the final beat of a tiña drum fade as a woman offers a parting prayer to Pachamama, her work seen as a bond with earth spirits per Aymara beliefs, as recorded in Na Motetea-like traditions. The rituals waned under Spanish influence, their sites razed, but stories endured. Fragments in Huacapapa and early colonial accounts, preserved by descendants, speak of bountiful harvests, turning these acts into legends of strength. This fusion of faith and fortitude left a legacy of adaptive resilience, a lesson in surviving scarcity. Today, their tale resonates. The Andean women's rituals prefigure modern discussions on sustainable practices and indigenous rights, linking their rat feasts to global food security debates. Their resilience shapes Andean cultural revival efforts. As you stand on that silent plateau, consider this. What lessons from these women's rituals still guide our understanding of survival in community? The answer might lie in the echoes of those ancient winds, waiting to inspire us anew. Thank you for joining this journey. Stay tuned for more mysteries from history.